Hi everyone. So in today's video we are going to discuss the 88th problem of LeetCode, which is merge sorted array. So first we look into the problem. So the problem says that you are given two integer arrays nums1 and nums2 sorted in non-decreasing order and two integers m and n representing the number of elements in nums1 and nums2 respectively. Merge nums1 and nums2 into a single array sorted in non-decreasing order. The final sorted array should not be returned by the function, but instead be stored inside the array nums1. To accommodate this, nums1 has a length of m plus n, where the first m elements denote the elements that should be merged, and the last n elements are set to 0 and should be ignored. Nums2 has a length of n. So basically the question is trying to say that we are given two integer arrays nums1 and nums2. Both of them are sorted in increasing order. By saying that sorted in non-decreasing order, the question is trying to say that they both are sorted in increasing order. So what we have to do, we have to merge both of them and store the sorted array in nums1 itself. Instead of creating some other array, we are storing the sorted array in nums1 itself. So now we'll look into an example for its better understanding. If we look at the first example, we are given nums1 array and nums2 array, and m and n are the respective lengths. The output should look like this. So the explanation given is that the arrays we are merging are 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 6. So we are ignoring the last three zeros, as it was mentioned in the question before, that the last n elements are set to 0 and should be ignored. So we are ignoring the last three elements. So we are merging the first three elements of nums1 array and the nums2 array. But we have to store the output in nums1 array itself. So for its better understanding, let's visualize the problem. If we look at the nums1 and nums2 array here, so both of them are having the same values which were given in the example. So we have to merge both of these arrays and form an array which is increasing in order and looks like this. So now we'll look into the solution of the problem. So for solving this problem, we'll maintain three pointers, particularly I, J, and K. So I will be pointing at the last element which have to be merged from nums1 as we are ignoring the last three of them. K will be pointing at the last element of nums1 array and J will be pointing at the last element of nums2. So what we are going to do is we are going to traverse through the nums2 array from the end. We are going to traverse from the last element of nums2 and we'll move towards the first element. So we'll compare the jth element here and the ith element with the ith element in the nums1 array. So by comparing them, the element which will be greater in value, we'll replace it with the kth index of the nums1 array. So let us see that how the solution really works. So as I said that we are going to compare the ith and jth indices of nums1 and nums2 array. So if we compare 6 with 3, we can clearly see that 6 is greater than 3. So what we are going to do, we are going to place the 6 at the kth index of nums1 array, which is at the last position of nums1 array. And we are going to move k one value lesser than the current index, which is we'll do k minus minus. And here in nums2 array, we are going to do j minus minus. So now in the second iteration, if we see, we again compare the ith element and the jth element. Still 5 is greater. So we'll place 5 over here. We are going to do k minus minus. Similarly, j minus minus. Now again, if we compare ith and jth element, we can see that 3 is greater. So we are going to place 3 over here and going to do k minus minus as we did before. And this time we are going to decrease I by 1 instead of decreasing j by 1. And again, if we compare ith and jth element, we can clearly see that they both are equal. So in such a case, we are going to place the element which is in nums2 array. So we'll place this 2 over here. And now we can see that as j has traversed the nums2 array, so we are going to simply place these elements over here. So now we'll look into the code of the solution, which will make it more clear. So instead of understanding it over here, we'll understand it in Sublime Text, which makes it rather more comfortable. So as I said that we've maintained three of our pointers over here. M and N were given as parameters in the problem itself. So we are our ith pointer is pointing at the m minus 1th index of nums1 array. J is pointing at n minus 1th index of nums2 array. K is pointing at the last element of nums1 array. So if we look at this, m is pointing over this element, J is pointing over here, and K is pointing over here. So for iterating over the nums2 array, we are using a while loop, and we've set the condition that until j is greater than equals to 0, we are going to iterate over the nums2 array. So if we look at the body of the while loop, first of all, we've set the condition that if I is greater than equals to 0, and the value at the ith index of nums1 array is greater than the jth value at the nums2 array, then we are going to replace the value at the kth index of nums1 array with the value at the ith index of nums1 array. And we'll do k minus minus and I minus minus. So if we look at the solution, it is trying to say that if the value of ith element at the nums1 array is greater than the value at the jth index of nums2 array, then we are going to replace the value at the kth index of nums1 array with the value if it would have been greater. If 3 would have been greater than 6, we are going to replace it with this. If it is not the case, as it is the case in this problem, as 3 is not greater than 6, for that situation we have this else condition. In that case, we are going to replace the kth index value of nums1 array with the value at the jth index of nums2 array. So this is the case if the value at the jth index of nums2 array is greater than the value at the ith index of nums1 array. We are going to replace this with the value at the kth index of nums1 array. So this is what this while loop is trying to do. So after iterating over the nums2 array, we are going to get the solution. So there might be a case that when we have iterated over the nums2 array and still there are elements left in nums1 array. So in that case, simply this while loop will not execute further, and the elements which were at their position will remain there intact, as it was the case in this solution. So yes, this was the solution of this problem. Now let us see by running it, the platform. So you can clearly see that it is accepted. So you can clearly see that it beats the 100% of users with Java. So it is basically because it is having the least time complexity which was possible. That is big O of m plus n. So yes, thank you.